Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a replay analysis video. This is a channel viewers match. His name is Mr. Maris. We'll see him in the channel. We're going to look at a game that I have genuinely never seen before. All we know is that it was a game versus Daedalquist, who is a pretty solid coach. So Daedalquist is playing the Pro Elves, and Mr. Maris is playing the Wood Elves. We'll watch it from the Wood Elf perspective, and we'll have a quick look through the teams. So, first of all, what have we got? No inducements here, and Daedal's sat on a wizard. So, the wizard is massively more powerful on defense than offense. So, I think if I was playing as the Wood Elves, I wouldn't have chosen to receive if given the choice, but I also would then go and choose to score relatively quickly. Next thing to consider is the relative strengths of the offense and defense of the two teams. And by that I mean, how good are the Pro Elves at defending versus the Wood Elves offense, and vice versa. And if we look at this, we can see, I'm going to pause it for a second, we can see that the Wood Elves have got a strength 4, one of these, right? This is incredibly strong at taking the ball. So I'd be quite comfortable playing the Wood Elves, go and score in 2 turns, and then not have to deal with the Wizard. I wouldn't try and drag this out for an 8-turn drive. We've also got block on the tree, so you want to be throwing a 3-dice block here. So at the moment, that's not taking us anywhere. What was the kickoff of then? Chain. Yeah. Now with block, if you've got block, you want to be punching things without block, maximising your probability of knockdown. And it looks very much like Mr. Maris is not doing any of those things, and he's going to play out an 8-turn stall. If we're going to do that, you want to go and protect this War Dancer, because the 2 War Dancers are the key players. You can't reroll that. Because you want to keep your 3 rerolls for things that actually matter. This is not one of those things. And we want to be protecting our key players there, probably there. And to be fair, he is blitzing here. So I think at the moment, Daedal's probably going to be coming in, and I think he should be blitzing this catcher down. It's got more value than the loner. And then I would bring most players down a little bit to try and get some value out of the wizard. So, let's see what happens. It's a bit odd doing the replays for games that I haven't actually seen before, because I don't know. I don't have any idea of what's going to happen. So Daedal, I think Daedal could be punching that with Mighty Blow. I think he could be valuing in here. Wouldn't have made any difference. But I think if you put pressure, you get value out of the wizard by being in a pressure state. So bring the ball and put pressure on. That screams like he's going to throw it. No, he's not going to throw it. So problem players for this are the catchers. Therefore, that's the blitz. And again, I'm thinking about trying to get onto defense as quickly as possible. It doesn't look like this is the case, so if it's not the case, then playing a fairly passive line makes sense. Put that in round here. Okay, we're going to dodge it. Let's get the pen out. Now, one thing that's probably worth noting straight out of the gate here is that look at the relative positions of the 2 teams. Bearing in mind it's turn 2. So if this is turn 2, what you've got is like an L shape here. Yeah, and it really is that sort of shape. We are doing that sort of defensive shape, but we're on turn 2, and we've already gone from there to there in 2 turns, which means at that current rate, that's going to be turn 3 or 4. That's going to be turn 5. You can't be there on turn 5. You're getting shunted backwards. And probably the break point for being too far back is there. We're about there. The Wood Elves really need to go and steal some of the ground. Because if they don't take it, the Wizard is going to be too threatening. I'm worried for the Wood Elves. You're getting a bit boxed. Yeah. Rob Powell, thank you very much for the sub. I think Daedal could be a little more aggressive here. Like, yeah, be coming forwards. Although the wizard that is definitely a consideration for the wizard now. That, I think, could be there, so you can make 3 dice with a tree. The probability of increasing knockdown is, what, I don't know, like another 20% if you make that 3 dice. And I think that's a follow to keep pressure on here. So now we're into danger territory of the wizard. That's not doing anything. That could have been that same player. I like the fact that it was 3 dice. That is important. The War Dancer's a little bit exposed. Has he got a bride? No bride. Doesn't have jump up. Ooh. You've got to foul that. You've got to foul that because lightning bolt here. Presumably that's on the floor. And that just goes and just blams you. So this is for me. This is the wizard turn. It's not. It's not. But I think it would have been. It's my wizard turn. It really is my wizard turn. Daedal deciding to hold on to it. And try and use the wizard. I mean, the absolute ideal wizard turn is always turn 6, isn't it? It's a nice woody team, says Rappers. Yeah, it is a nice team. Both teams are pretty dangerous. Just fishing for a pow. Let's reroll. That's unlucky. That's going to get surfed. Can't follow. That's got Juggernaut, so you can push into the side. I suppose you can't. You can't use that as the actual. So you'd have to, if you want to surf that, you've actually got to block and follow, so you're off the sideline. Then you push it into the War Dancer. Nah, it's a really bad idea. That's the blitz, isn't it? Nice for the pivot point. Wizard ball goes in here. Bit worried about these War Dancers being so exposed. You're much better off using these players at the front of the screen. So, now what? That's an exposure point. Okay. Right, so Daedal, you've got to look at this from Daedal's point of view and say, is this worth a wizard? And how do you decide whether it's a wizard or turning or not? Well, I think you're looking for sort of 3 or 4 points. Number 1, you want compression between the two teams. You want to be stood near the ball so that you haven't got to go too far to get it. Well, that ticks that. Yes, that's a tick. 2, when the ball falls, how many of those squares are good for you and how many squares can you get at it? So you've got to have retrieval, recovery. And then, 3rd point, you need to be able to make it safe. So it probably isn't a wizard turn because although you've got the compression, you've got this like loose net of players around it. So I don't think I deploy the wizard here. So credit to Mr. Maras here. What I do want to see is this becoming a bit more obnoxious. You park this on some of these elves because by parking them in, you get even more compression and you get it distorts the loose net. This should be coming over here. Hello, Shirato. How you doing? Strong turn for the Pro Elves, 2 removals. Two and a half removals. Sorry, 1.5 removals. When it says this should happen, it doesn't. Yeah, I think it's just... I wanted to do 1 replay analysis a week, and I've been a little bit behind, so I'm quite pleased that we've managed to actually find a gap in the schedule and go for it. So, catch it, ball, and everything's going to come through here. That gap, you see, it's not going to be a wizard turn next, because the compression's going to completely vanish, because that was a gap. If this guy was in here, that wouldn't have happened. That's the blitz. That's too greedy. And the turn that you have to break through, for me, that's too greedy. You needed a positional blitz this turn for that guy. How are you going to make that safe? How are you going to make that safe? So, I know we've just seen the wizard, right? Oh dear. We've just seen the wizard deployed, but let's just look at that for a second, right? You don't have the compression, so you've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've actually got a 1 dice on the ball straight out of the gate, so why not just go and put the assist in here and blitz it on 2 dice? Because it's not the turn. I think I wouldn't have blitzed, because you've not got phase 2, which you've not got recovery. So you can argue over argue the toss over who's got the ball, but your recovery sucks. That's it's an interesting wizard. So I think he's going to throw it with a catcher. He can throw it here. If he blitzes this dancer and pushes it in the gap, I think you can throw it through without a... you could have thrown it through without an intercept. So now what he's saying is I'm just going to go and pick it up and put it back in here. Alright. So the safety element, the third bit, the make the ball safe. Nope, that's torched. And I think that the Wood Elves should be able to recover this. That is 100% not safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See what I mean about the recovery, right? Phase 3, we haven't got the safety net. It's not safe. You're going to argue the toss over the ball. So the wizard has been deployed without actually ticking all 3 phases. Great choice of leap. That's a really strong choice of leap, because pushing over here is nice. And that, yeah. But actually, would I have gone there? The scatterer there is 5 squares. The scatter there is... No, actually, I think I'd have blitzed south. The scatter was better south. So, nah. New Ross has got me eyeing Corn tabletop tournaments. Do you rate them after last weekend? Yeah, Jip, the Corn are great. Corn are an acceptable roster. I can imagine Dave will quist. Maybe. Interesting to see non-sure hands going in there. I know you can't dump the ball off after that, but I think I'd have gone with the sure hands to get over here. Because there's no edge 5 on the table. And the recovery element of this is a bit rough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Now what? Where are you going to put the ball? Leap into there, blitz. I think that's the play. Leap into there and blitz. Yeah, leap blitz. Leap. Definitely not leap blitz. We shall not be leaping and blitzing. I cannot work out what's going on. Like, all the things I'm like, oh, you should do this. Nope. Wait a minute. Why run away? I don't get why run away. This makes sense. But why run away? Why not be in the vicinity? I don't get it. One of the very first actions is get that up and get it into scoring range. Get that up and get into scoring range. Pick the ball up. It is pick the ball up first, because if you're going to fail, you want to use, yeah, that. So, I think it was that second, I think. And what you'll need to also count is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Yeah, okay. Throw it. Right. Mariantas, welcome to the channel. How you doing? I would like to see the throw. Because you're not going to keep it safe here. So the further you take the ball, now, the better.
AndyDavo! He's better at Blood Bowl than a can of Spam.
That's 6 squares, so it's a... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 3 plus. And I think if you are the Wood Elves now, you're looking at making this 2 dice. And you are going to have to dodge away from diving tackle, sadly. Fake skill. 75% knockdown. Didn't make it, so it's a score. Oh my word, Pyro, how you doing? Thank you very much for 53 months. You are entitled to a free sound effect, by the way, Pyro. You are entitled to a free sound effect whenever you're ready. Thank you so much. 50 months is insane. And then you just need to blitz with a catcher and score. So this should... Whoa, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, fine. Okay, well, we've added 2% failure rate in there. Oh, well done, I feel fancy. Oh, man. Yeah. Message me on Discord and we can talk about sound effect. The Elves just wanted to bang. Yeah, like, strictly speaking, and I can understand why. We'll flip it around. I can understand why Dadel went with this, right? That player is really valuable. But ultimately, you turned a 2% fail, and you could have had it as like 0.01 or 0.1% fail. It was quad skulls into dub skulls. And you're talking about guaranteeing a score. I think you should be scoring. Like, strictly speaking, you should be scoring. Equally, I can imagine universes where I take the exact same line of play, right? Hot kettle black sat here. Hello, Chris. We're just doing a quick replay analysis of a game I've never seen before between 2 different sets of elves. I didn't even know what the matchup was before I looked at it. And it's very interesting watching and seeing how different people play the game, and some different perspectives on what is perceived to be right and wrong, right? So if I was the Pro Elves here, I think I would be looking and threatening to score reasonably soon, but I wouldn't be going out of my way to. I'm okay with not scoring, but what I'm looking for is this guy, this one here, needs to absolutely needs to be not threatening the ball. So if the ball's not under any threat, not scoring. So from a Wood Elf perspective, what we need to do is one War Dancer needs to stay kind of like where it is now, and the other War Dancer stands there. And then what you've got is double threat across the whole of the pitch. And you've got War Dancer threatening everywhere. But this is just naughty. This is induction for double ones. There's a change of mind. Nice. That's a much stronger square than the one it was going to be in. Dazza says, how's it going? It's going alright, thank you. We've got a playoff game in about half an hour. And between now and then, we're just doing a casual replay analysis. So you can see here, if the two War Dancers don't step, there's no pressure on the ball, and you're 1-0 down. So if you don't put pressure on, well, they'll just stay there. They'll stay there, you stay there, they'll stay there, you stay there. Right, it's like staring each other out of no man's land. Shirato Kai is stunned. Wow. If I was the pros, I would like to step that catcher one more forward, because if I can get that catcher one forward, I can score. So then, if pressure happens to go on the ball, you've got to pressure the ball and also stop the score. When if you're just pressuring the ball, well, I know you can't score, so it's fine. So I think this should be. We want to be building a screen like that needs to be stood here, and then you want a cage, screen around it. Blitz that. Blitz that. You've got Juggernaut. You can cancel Wrestle. That basically doesn't have a skill right now. And we can kind of see how this half's going to play out. He's going to go trade a hit, trade a hit, trade a hit, trade a hit. And it's not going to... There's no pressure from the Wood Elves. The Wood Elves have to induce something here. That's also one square short. So this War Dancer's already died once today. Will it die again? Nope. I hope Mari's watches this back and says, "Oh yeah, okay, there's some things we can look at." And Mari's, if you are watching this, I'd be very interested to know, what your perception of this is as well, because I think this is just my opinion on things. It doesn't mean to say my opinion is right. It just says that's my opinion. What I can point at is if there was some pressure on the ball, this knobbing around wouldn't happen. Or if it did happen, you'd be able to punish it. Yep. That'll just get swatted away. Blitz here? No. Blitz. Oh, okay, blitz there. So that's the blitz next turn. That stands up. You cover this, and at the moment, if this guy was in scoring range here, you could, in theory. Wait, what? What? That's like Skaven all over again. There. Don't follow. Don't want to catch the bouncing ball. There we go. Let's see if that was scoring threat. You've got an out. You're still too close to that war dancer. Oh dear. Oh dear. That war dancer's gonna have a ball off him. This could easily be 1-1, given some half decent dice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blam. Cancel that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 2 dice on the ball here with tackle. It's a 3+ for 2 dice on the ball. The only problem is the recovery sucks. But that's fine. He just recovers it himself and uses potato a little bit. And he hits nothing around. A little bit, Pyro, yeah. A little bit. How have you been anyway? So we could have done that differently by cancelling the assist here and then going 1, 2, 3, 4, leap into that square there, and that's your 2 dice. And that player is just a little bit too far away. You can now bring the ball forward, and you can probably just screen this off now. 1, 2, yeah, you can. You just plonk it in here somewhere. So this should be 2-0. It's fine. You do want to kind of stay near the guard so that the strength can't do anything. Extra flavours of knobbing around. Arguably that just stands
go,
up.
Andy, go.
Hey Mike, how you doing? This is a replay analysis looking at things that we could find that we could change for both elf teams. Initially it was just going to be for one elf team, but I think there's things on both sides. One, two. So now we've got the 2 dice. Leap from there into, well, leap from either of these squares into here. Right. That's happened 2 or 3 times now. And I think it's worth just sort of thinking about this, which is that the destination square for the leap hasn't necessarily been the right square. Things to change and that's nothing around. But because you're adding extra dice in for no reason. So look at the board, cancel out the assist you don't need, and then just go, I can leap into that direct square. The only way to watch Andy on a hotel bed somewhere far from home. Some people really enjoy Andy on a hotel bed far from home. I'm sure. So 2 dice here, block, don't follow, blitz it off the board, score. Who? I don't know. I'm sure there are some people though. And yeah, and that's game, isn't it? Broadly, that's game. Broadly. So pick ball up with bludge, sidestepper, put ball here. Yeah, that's game. And that in fact is indeed game because they run away. So yeah. Fine, that's 2-0. Is there a 1 turn? Let's have a look at this. So with a 1 turn with a movement 9 sprint sure feet guy, all you need is your shove. So if you're going to do this sort of setup, I'll just pause it for a second. Put a player here and just push it like that. So you've guaranteed the push. You're also playing with a Juggernaut guy, so this is guaranteed to be able to be in range. Don't create the hole or the pocket, because if you're looking for a push in a hot pocket, you'll be in problem. The other thing you can always do is bring the guys back, so when you're going for scoring, what you're actually doing. Pause it again. So imagine the ball's gone deep here. We imagine the ball has gone deep. Pause it. And imagine you're stood, there and there. Taking this guy, he can run forward in like a cone. So now if the ball is anywhere in front of him, he's just moving forward with the ball and everything's fine. Same with this guy, right? He's got a cone of movement that's forwards. So the only times it's bad is like that goes there. And there's only very few squares. One's behind my head and there's a couple of squares here. If, however, you position yourself here, for every square you go backwards, you've got to make the same move forward again. So that's 2 squares every time you go backwards. So if the ball had been kicked into that square there, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're now stood on the halfway line. Or you could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could be stood there. So you could be stood there, or you could be stood there. So always on a 1 turn, set up right near your end zone with your player that's going to recover the ball. Because if it goes really shallow, like in here somewhere, you've probably got someone on the halfway line that can fix it. And the other thing we're going for here is a push. We could have chained this. Yeah, this is just adding a push. Blitz from that square there, doing that. Yeah, that's cost the 1 turn. Never mind. So there's a couple of things you can look at there. Definitely a couple of things to think through. Push here, get the free hit. Nice. Although I suppose with a free hit with a loner, do you actually care about it? So, there we go. That sort of broadly brings to a close the replay analysis video. I think there's some things I would change in that. I hope that there's things that you looked at and thought, yeah, I'd do things differently. And I'm also interested in anyone's opinion where you think, actually, no, Davo, you're just completely wrong. And this is my reasons why. So, thank you very much. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed to the video, please do so. It helps the channel out loads. Thank you.